more entertaining. But at this point, the NBA All-Star Game has become one big, gigantic advertisement. And unless the players start taking it seriously, it is going to be like it's been the last couple of years, and that is boring to watch.
Pick a side delivering. All right, let's talk here. I mean, I don't need a preview for a game that is 2 months from now, but I saw I just imagined the rosters, and I think this is international team wiping the floor with Team USA. So it's 3 rosters: USA, and international, and they're going to try to vote. I don't know how this is going to work. Someone smarter than me could explain it to me, Trill, if you don't mind. How we're going to get to 12 from the East and 12 from the West. I don't know if the East can even carry 12. And I don't even know if we need 8 internationals. We could have 12, 14 internationals by the time midseason rolls around. Who you got in this game? Which roster are you loving most, Trill?
Well, I think it's insanely disrespectful that no one has said Victor Wembanyama's name so far in this conversation, because I know that he, has not been as good as his insane start to the season, but that guy is on his way to breaking basketball, and if he gives even a little bit of a shit about the All-Star game, he's going to be taking that game over, I think, in the next few years. So I personally think the U.S. has been obviously trending downward relative to the rest of the world's talent. I mean, look at the MVP list every single year. Look at first-team All-NBA. We might have literally an all-international first-team All-NBA for the first time ever this season. And I think that, our run might be over. We might be cooked, honestly.
All right, that's the first mute of the day. This is how the show works here, Trill. You were in the paint, and you were prime Shaq, and you were just backing it in. Who you got, slightly biased, internationals or U.S.?
Well, I agree 100% with Trill. I think the international talent right now is better. Not only is it better top end, but it's becoming more and more and more deep as well as we get some of these guys coming in. You think about someone like, Zachary Richichet. He's one of the more forgotten about first overall picks in quite some time. French guy. He looks like a really solid wing guy. Obviously, he's not going to make the All-Star game, but the international talent pool right now is just absolutely insane, and it's great for the league. I wonder if your top-end guys on the international team in the All-Star game are going to take it super seriously. But Victor Wembanyama, like Trill said, he is an absolute maniac monster, and I do think he's got that competitive edge that could turn this game into something really fun to watch, because really all you need, we see this from time to time, you need 1 or 2 guys really going hard, and that by default.
It sounds like you're kind of, you're gaining some temperature here, lukewarm towards this game if you have some of the international players playing with the passion that they may have. Real quick, pick a side here for the All-Star roster, U.S. or international?
International. It's clear. Okay. You have SGA, Giannis, Wemby, Jokic, Luka. The top 5 players in the world are all on the international roster. At this point, I think it's actually getting unfair to just have one world team, because there's going to be multiple players that are from overseas that are not going to make an All-Star game that probably should. Because right now I'm looking at Josh Giddey playing at All-Star level, Pascal Siakam, Lauri Markkanen, and then what? Denny Advia is going to get snubbed, who's clearly playing at an All-Star level.
Denny's an All-Star. Denny's an All-Star this year, yeah.
There are 2 USA teams compared to 1 world team, when the world team, the top 5, is predominantly clearly better than Team USA. I think that international players are actually getting the short end of the stick here.
Domo, can I tempt you with a 15-point bonus right now to take a U.S. roster over the internationals?
Well, you didn't have to tempt me, because I was already going to do it.
Were you? Let me hear.
I didn't realize I was in I didn't realize I was in enemy territory, but I think people are forgetting. Yes, this international roster is going to look nice and pretty. Top 5 players in the world on their individual respective teams. We're talking about an all-star game here, folks. The American teams are not going to want to take too lightly of all the disrespect being put on their names. The international guys are great, but once you realize how deep the USA teams actually are, I'm hearing Denny Advia's name being brought up in an all-star game. He's having a good season, don't get me wrong, but when Denny Advia's coming off of that bench and you still have a guy, I don't know, Cade Cunningham to counter him on an American side, hey man, I will be happy to be the only guy rocking with Team USA for the All-Star game. Just like the guys on our screen just said. There's guys on that team that don't even care. There's guys on that team that's not even going to show up to want to do this. There's a guy that would rather race horses.
That'll be the last word here. Let's go to the next segment. Uh-oh. Slightly biased. Dallas Mavericks, here we go. Post came today, and it said the Mavs are flipping the script. Present tense, like they hadn't already done that 9 months ago. They hadn't already done that. But here we are. We have a roster now. Post Nico day 2, and I'm going to, of course, start with our Locked In on Mavs, slightly biased here, on what happens the day after.
Well, this to me is clearly an ownership group that might be a little in over their heads when it comes to basketball. I mean, anybody who has followed the league for any period of time knows you never trade a player like Luka Doncic. Even if you want to spin it to where, well, I didn't actually have a say in it. My GM told me to do it, and I just trusted him. Anybody who knows anything about basketball would immediately say, you never, ever trade that guy. So this is the ownership group saving their ass. And now we get to watch as the ownership group that okayed the Luka Doncic trade now searches for their new GM. The Lakers fans, the kid with the Lakers jersey, Luka Lakers jersey sitting courtside, that was a photo op. Nobody's taking that seriously. Everybody knows what's going on right there. So we'll see what this means. I'm happy Nico's gone because let me tell you, as somebody who's in Dallas, Texas, the energy surrounding this team right now is dreadful. So I'm happy Nico's gone. It's a Band-Aid solution. We'll see what happens long term. Am I optimistic? Well, this ownership group traded away Luka Doncic, so I can't say the answer is yes.
Right, but you've already, don't mind me for lurking here in the communities, but you've already said the Cooper Flag era is upon us. You've already anointed him. There's some optimism in that. You're not the type of guy who's going to stay down for long. You believe in Flag. You saw a breakout game from him in the last 2.
Yeah, Cooper Flag is the saving grace of this franchise right now. If Kasparas Yakichonis was on this team, I don't even know if the city of Dallas would be standing right now. It'd probably have been razed to the ground in a protest.
You're getting carried away. All right, okay. So I wanted him to vent a little bit, and I appreciate that. Slightly biased. Again, this is the same place. Now let's have a real discussion here. Is Anthony Davis the next shoe to drop? Should the Mavericks now pack it all in? We know what their pick status is. They have it this year, and then it's going to all the teams in the West you don't want to go into, Houston and San Antonio in the future in the next 3 to 4 years. Should they trade Anthony Davis now? Around the room to pick a side.
Absolutely, they should trade Anthony Davis. This situation is only getting worse. When they traded Luka Doncic, everybody knew it was a bad trade to begin with, but the silver lining was that Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, and depth could maybe lead to a playoff run. Kyrie Irving tears his ACL, and then Anthony Davis gets hurt in the very first game in his Mavericks debut. And now Anthony Davis is hurt once again, in and out of the lineup. And Kyrie Irving, who knows when he's going to return. At this point, the Dallas Mavericks need to sell all of their veteran players and start thinking about the future with Cooper Flag and rebuilding around his strengths to fit him.
Domo and Trill, we're going to pick up the pace here because we're 10 minutes from first tip. But Domo, trading Anthony Davis, is it a move you're making, and who should be flagging that as a possibility? Have any juice for us?
Listen, not only should Anthony Davis get traded, Kyrie should get traded, Najee Marshall should get traded, PJ Washington get traded.
Blow it up,
D'Angelo Russell should get traded. Get all the assets you can back because you sold your future because you were scared about a little weight gain in the finals. Blow it all up. Hell, blow the team up. Move them to Vegas.
Bias is shaking his head. No, get in here. Come on now.
You can't trade away everybody right away just because you drafted a number 1 guy who you want to put in a positive situation. And I understand that the vibes and stuff have been terrible, but how often does a number 1 overall pick get to learn from 2 other number 1 overall picks? How often does a number 1 overall pick get to learn from multiple champions? I understand that they need to recoup assets, and I do agree with you that if an AD trade comes along, they should take it. But in terms of just tearing it down to the studs, a reason why they can't really do that is they don't own their picks past 2026. They go 4 whole years without any control of their picks. So it's an incredibly risky
those picks, like I said, they're going to San Antonio with the swap.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to direct rivals.
It's the teams you don't even. I mean, Trill Bro Dude. I am not silencing Trill Bro Dude here, man. All right.
All I'll say is that slightly biased might be an appropriate name for that rant. But I will say this much. Okay, ready? They really are in a weird situation because they can't really trade Kyrie Irving because he tore his ACL. Is the league going to value him right now? They can't trade PJ Washington because they just extended him. He is not trade eligible for the rest of the season. I do kind of am halfway in between where I'm like fully blow it up, give Cooper Flag some talent around him. But I think you put some guys out there. If you can trade some of the older guys, start to rebuild your asset base, that makes a lot of sense. But also, you don't want to just make it so that it's a nightmare because Flag is going to be better if he plays with better players for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what the best destination, honestly, would be for Anthony Davis. You have these young teams that are on. I mean, Detroit is an attractive team. Do they really break up what they're doing with some of the youth and try to hold and bring in Anthony Davis to work with Cunningham and Thompson? Would he have to be traded? Not sure what the play is there. We're going to move on to our next segment. We're moving on here. It says showdown. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in one more segment here. Maybe we won't have the graphics here. Huge game tonight. Lakers versus OKC. What do you need to see, Domo, from your beloved Lakers to convince you that they're a contender? Or are they already there for you, even without LeBron? Around the horn to Domo.
Listen, man. For me to be 100% bought in on this, I already know Luka's best player in the world, or competing with best player in the world. I already know Austin Reeves is an all-star. I know our top 2 guys are going to show up. I need the other guys to step up. I need DA to accept this matchup against Chet, against Hartenstein, and show that he's the best big on the floor. I need Laravia to show up and be one of the better role players. I need Marcus Smart to show up and provide that veteran leadership that we need. I need Vandal to come out and give us another 15 rebounds, whatever the case is. I need the role players to show us that we are championship contending role players, not just guys waiting on Luka to have 40 points.
Bro, dude, what do you need to see tonight?
My main issue with this matchup for the Lakers is just their perimeter defense. Like you just talked about, who is the best perimeter defender on the Lakers? Because you're going up against SGA. By the way, J-Dub's not even playing right now, and I think that athletic forwards and wings are going to kind of tear apart this Lakers team in terms of their just the fact that a lot of their defenders are small, some are older. Marcus Smart has looked washed at times. Like I just think that this team needs real perimeter defenders in order to hang with a team like OKC. But the creation is out of this world with Reeves and Luka this season.
Pick a side. Is Domo out of his mind? He's already ready to crown the contention for the Lakers, and we haven't even seen LeBron yet.
He's absolutely out of his mind. OKC is on pace to win 70 games, and J-Dub hasn't even played a game yet. This is unbelievable we're seeing from OKC. They are a historic team. They're going to go back-to-back this season. Last year was just a preview when they won the NBA championship, and they beat the Denver Nuggets. This year, they're more experienced. They have a breakout player in A.J. Mitchell off the bench, and this is by far and away the deepest roster in the NBA, led by the reigning MVP. The Lakers stand no chance. Not tonight and not in the playoffs.
Domo, let me bring you back in here for a second, because when LeBron comes back, what type of LeBron are we getting? Right? Are we going to get the LeBron who wants to, I'm the Olympics LeBron, I'm going to distribute the ball, I'm going to be this guy for 3 games, and then all of a sudden he's like, no, I got to be LeBron again. You guys don't know how to play with me. What are we going to get?
We're going to get the same LeBron James we seen show up and lace him up for Team USA. The ultimate Swiss Army knife, the ultimate glue guy, the ultimate winning player. He's going to look around his locker room and see there's guys he can actually trust with the basketball and actually trust to get the job done. So he's going to show up, do his job, and keep moving. We're talking about the greatest player of all time. This guy, right above my shoulder. Yeah. He's the king for a reason. He knows what it takes to win, and he's going to do what it takes to win.
So you don't agree with Will Nets hater in the chat right now who's saying you should be prime Boris Diaw? That type of player?
Absolutely
That's
not.
a compliment
Absolutely
from Will.
Oh, I love me some Boris. Slightly biased. Come in here real quick.
Yeah, I mean, for LeBron, the moment I hear podcasters that I listen to, like Bill Simmons, talk about an injury that they share with LeBron James and sciatica, that's when I start to become a little bit concerned with how he's going to look in his return. For the Lakers in this matchup against the Thunder, you go back to the playoffs last year, and the Pacers took him to 7. The Nuggets took him to 7. Those teams were deep and had legitimate playoff rotation players. The Pacers could play 10 guys that could run up and down the floor, that could press you the full court. I need to make sure the Lakers have 7 or 8 solid rotation playoff guys that I feel confident in, because Luka's going to go out and get 40 points. I don't care who's guarding him. I've seen it my whole life. I've seen it. Luka beat this team a couple years ago. Now, granted, they didn't have Caruso. They didn't have Hartenstein yet. But I count on Jared Vanderbilt to go out there and not shoot a corner 3 off the side of the backboard? No, I can't.
No, you can't. That'll be a mute right there. Let's move this along. Around the room, only on Playback TV. Next topic, Warriors got dog walked by OKC last night. They're now in San Antonio. They've had some road struggles, and we saw flagrant foul call on Steph Curry, first time in 17 years for him. But it was Draymond Green post-game. He said some very effusive and beautiful things about OKC, as he should, the defending champs, and how much promise they have and how he reminds them, or they remind him, I should say, of the Warriors dynasty at the beginning. But he questioned the commitment to win on his own team. Trill bro, dude. Something or nothing from Draymond.
I mean, it is something in that locker room for sure. Like, all I'm going to say is I would imagine that Jonathan Kuminga is going to enjoy Sacramento at this upcoming trade deadline. It's always seemingly directed towards him in some capacity. By the way, Jimmy Butler also said something too about this in the locker room after last night about buying into a role and being a winner and not having an agenda. So I definitely think there's something going on there. And I would imagine his days are numbered in Golden State.
Pick a side.
Not everybody can be the lead singer. Somebody has to be the guitarist, somebody has to be the drummer, somebody has to be the bass player. And I think Golden State, they have 3 players that understand their roles in Steph, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. But then you have AirPods, who said earlier in the offseason that he wants to be just as good as Steph Curry. And we know that's just pure delusion. Jonathan Kuminga in the offseason, he was at a crossroads with Golden State. We didn't even know if he was going to be back on the team. I just feel like these young guys are way in over their heads, and it's a big reason why the Warriors are stalemating right now.
Wow. Slightly biased. Something or nothing from Draymond Green last night questioning the commitment of the team.
I think it's something just because we kind of talked about this before we went live, just how young the league has become, how athletic it's become. And you got this team full of grandpaps going out there every single night. It's a recipe for disaster. And I agree that the young guys are a little in over their head. Podziemski said he wants to be the Ohtani of basketball. I don't even know what that really means.
I mean, that's what we're talking about, AirPods.
But, I actually think Kuminga's shown a decent level of buy-in this year. I watched a game like last night. Jimmy Butler takes 3 shots. Like, what even is that? And that dates back to the playoffs last year when Steph got hurt, and Jimmy was they needed him desperately to take over games, and I don't even know if he's capable of that anymore. So I think they're in a bit of a hard place. We talked earlier about potential AD destinations. Just saying, Jimmy Butler, AD, those contracts match perfectly.
Right, and that's a trade the fantasy leagues at Del Boca Vista and the retirement homes will love to see anyway. Domo, I'm going to go to you real quick. I just need to say we're at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock. Got some early scheduled tip-offs in the next 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to wrap up around the room right here, though, with a big winner and a FaceTime. We're not going to miss out on that. Domo, something or nothing from Draymond Green.
This is absolutely something. You have a team led by 3 grizzled vets who know what it takes to win, and a bunch of role players who are just talking the talk but not walking the walk. I didn't even know about the Ohtani comment by B-Pods, but it made sense seeing how he said he wanted to be the new Steph Curry. Buddy, that's not you. Kuminga gave us the most dramatic offseason we've seen in a long time from the Warriors since probably Jordan Poole. You have B-Pods making these comments and other guys just not stepping up and doing what they're supposed to do.
The most dramatic offseason since Jordan Poole, a whole 3 years ago. All right, Domo. I'm going to do a lightning round before we get to the shot and a last chance here. We got Trill Bro needs to get some work in here. 10 games in, Trill. Who's been the most impressive rookie?
Look, I wanted to say VJ Edgecombe because, man, out the gate.
I was wondering if you would. He was
incredible. He was so good the first few games. He's my guy. I'm still riding with him. But if I'm being objective, and that's what I always do, I'm going to have to give it to the doughy white boy in Charlotte. I think that Con Knipple has just continued his growth from the ACC tournament where he won MVP, Summer League Finals where he won MVP. I think he has the most underrated upside of any player in this class because of the way that he looks, to be honest with you. And I think that he has a chance to be a special NBA player.
Passed the test, Trill, bro. You didn't go with the hometown pick, but you went incredibly long.
Still love each.
For that. Real quick, on your rookie of the year, let's go slightly biased.
Yeah, I got to try and be as objective as possible here as well, which is exactly why I am still going with Cooper Flagg, with the main reason being he's the youngest player in the NBA. He's one of the youngest players of all time. He's only being outpaced in terms of 18-year-olds by LeBron James. And whenever the Mavericks don't play him at point guard, when he's playing with Brandon Williams, he has a 60% true shooting percentage, 24 points per 75
Is that
possessions.
right? Well, I didn't know that. Oh, well, that changes everything in my pick. Pick a side. Give me your rookie of the year ladder real quick.
It has to be Con Knipple at number 1. And number 2, I'm going to go with Cedric Coward because the Magic made a big-time trade in the offseason, trading for Desmond Bane. They traded away a ton of first-round picks and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And the Grizzlies used one of those first to go trade up and get Cedric Coward. And I'm looking at how he fits the Memphis Grizzlies right now. He's an awesome defender. He's averaging 14 points per game. And then you look at everything else the Memphis Grizzlies got for that trade. They are clearly the winners. But Con Knipple, I feel like him with Charlotte, he's proven that he can maybe be a franchise star. And with the injuries to Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball,
I'm hearing the nipple. No, and I was surprised, Trill. VJ, Domo, I'll give you one last chance. Give me your rookie of the year ladder.
My number one guy is DQ, Derek Queen out of New Orleans. A lot of questions around his name once he got traded for that Hawks pick. Well, when they traded the Hawks, traded away for the pick and everything like that. Give me DQ. If his name was Derek Queenovich, everyone will be talking about all the work he's doing down there in New Orleans. All the work he's doing since Zion left. They were 0-7 with Zion there. He gets hurt. They win 2 games, and he's hitting clutch moments.
What is happening? Domo, you're running the table here. Points, and now you're in trouble. Last lightning round, you got to pick a side. They said it on their podcast. Morris brothers say they could take the Jokic brothers in a fight. Who you got? Pick a side.
I have the Jokic brothers without a doubt. We saw with Jokic.
Yeah, give me the Eastern European guys.
Yeah. Domo, who you got?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to take the Jokic brothers.
And Trillbro, dude.
I respectfully decline for my own
Yes,
personal
you don't want to
safety.
start a war with anybody.
Yeah, no, I know the Morris brothers. They're from Philly. I might see them around, and I'm just going to be neutral on this one.
We have a showdown now. Trillbro, Domo, thanks for your time right now. I'll bring you back in a second, but for the game purposes, pick a side. Slightly biased. Going into showdown, and today's showdown is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to give 30 seconds for your hottest take that you can come up with. And the take is, who is the prize at the trade deadline? Slightly biased, 30 seconds, it's all yours.
So I'm actually going to go a route here, and I'm going to say if the Mavericks do blow it up, the prize of the deadline is Kyrie Irving, only because last season when he was healthy, he was playing at a top 15 level in the NBA. I think he'll be back before the trade deadline, and he might only be 80% of what he was a season ago, but that still is an incredible player. And I look around the league, and I see a team like the Houston Rockets who desperately could use another ball handler like that, and they can make the contracts work on a trade like this pretty easily. And I think that immediately puts them into another echelon of teams that could compete realistically with the Oklahoma City Thunders of the world. So if a team were to go out there and maybe even buy low on a guy like Kyrie Irving coming off an ACL injury and he performs well for them, that could shift the balance of power in the entire NBA. So I'm going to go with...
I'm seeing fire and I'm seeing snow. You're hot and you're cold. You're yes and you're no right here. More fire coming from the chat for Slightly Biased. Pick a side. The prize of the trade deadline.
I'm not going to go with a conventional star because I feel like there is no conventional star that is a prize. John Morant, I want nothing to do with him. Zion Williamson, nothing to do with him.
Nothing to do with John Morant for a playoff run?
I am looking at Derek White on the Boston Celtics, who is struggling right now. He's a bit inconsistent. And there's a team in the Western Conference who their head coach used to coach Derek White. That's Ime Udoka. They desperately need a point guard in ball handling. He would fit their identity as a defender, as a shooter, and I think he is the real prize of the trade deadline that could swing a championship for a team.
Wow. Incredible showdown. Incredible around the room today. It's been more than an incredible week for one of our favorites. And Slightly Biased, Locked on Mavs. You've had a full week. And you are the winner of today's show. I think you earned this one for everything that Nico put you through here. Take your FaceTime.
You know, this week showed us the power of fandom, really, because Mavericks fans never wavered after the Luka trade. They protested outside the arena. I was there. I saw it. It was hilarious. They were chanting, "He's not fat, bring him back," in relation to Luka, of course. They also chanted for Maxi Kleber, which I thought was funny because they were begging to trade Maxi Kleber for years. But either way, I saw it. They chanted at games. They chanted fire Nico at games. And I do not think Nico Harrison gets fired 11 games into the season if it were not for the relentless outpour from fans. So when fans come together, they can make change. And now I hope the fans channel that energy into more positive energy so we can cheer on the team and cheer on our boy Cooper Flagg, as he is one of the greatest 18-year-old players to ever play the sport.
He might be slightly biased. He might be slightly delusional. He was fully delusional today.
That's
the
right.
Fully Delusional Club in the showdown win here. Pick a side. Thank you very much for your time today. I have to hit this next button to bring back Trillbro Dude. Let me see if I can do that. Not just yet. Maybe if I hit end here. But this wraps up the Around the Room. Want to give a shout out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get Trillbro back and Domo, so I got to give you guys some love here. Trillbro Dude is on our hero on Playback TV, and he is on You Know Ball. You can follow him tonight. Joel, pick a side. Community, Playback TV, pick a side. Slightly Biased, watching his beloved Mavericks tonight. And of course, Domo. Let's keep it a buck. And the panel is where I've seen him here. It's been wonderful having you guys around the room. I'm not done. I'm going to be jumping into communities all night long here on Playback TV. I'm looking forward for a run with Stochastic. We'll whip around the league here. And I'm going to join my guys at Nick's Film School as well. And I'm not putting a cap on it. I'm going to go find some of the greatest communities out there and just chop it up with you guys. Happy to talk some ball on a ball night in the NBA. Our first winner of Around the Room, Slightly Biased. Congrats. Pick a side. Let me see. I'm going to hit a button here. Let's see if we bring Trillbro back and Domo for a second. Let's end this game, and let's see if we still have everybody come back to us. There we are, guys. I was giving you guys a shout-out, too. Anything you want to drop real quick, Trillbro? I know you're doing a live show in Philly on November 30th. There we go. We'll get you unmuted. Sorry. Oh, I've seen a million faces, and I muted them all. What am I doing here?
Good, I got it. Follow You Know Ball with Trill Bro Dude. We do 2 podcasts a week. If you like it, sign up for the Patreon. Come out to the live show in Philly.
Live show November 30th.
That's right. We got a few tickets left. Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me.
Pick a side. Pump your stuff here, please.
Yeah, you can follow me at Pick a Side Podcast on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok.
Domo, what do you know?
That's Damo on YouTube. Let's keep it a buck on YouTube, and OTS Damo on Playback. We're going live right after this. Anyone's welcome to pull up. Thank you for everybody. This was super fun.
Slightly Biased. You've done it. You're the today's champion. I think what put it over the top was Marvin's Room playing in the Mavericks club locker room over the last week. I think that really got you to a great place. Pump your channel and let's do this.
Playback.tv/slightly biased, youtube.com/slightly biased, Twitter at biased slightly. That's it.
Big night in the NBA, loaded schedule. I'm going to be chopping in with everybody. Stochastic is first. Take out Nick's Film School as well. Thank you to Playback for letting me do some nostalgia here. Nobody does nostalgia